guys, welcome to Drum Dog, and this week we're going to be looking at the concept behind this fill. Now, as we often find with a lot of fills, it sounds fairly complicated on face value, but the concept behind it is actually a lot more simple than we think. So today we're going to be breaking down what goes into that fill and then using that as a springboard to create more ideas. Now, it's fairly obvious to see for this fill, there's a whole lot of ride cymbal and tom stuff happening there. And actually, it's a very simple and short sticking that we're using to get between that ride cymbal and those toms. And it is purely a right, right, left, with that first right being on the ride cymbal with a bass drum, and then the right, left following being on the toms. So we're going ride, tom, tom, ride, tom, tom as a right, right, left, right, right, left. And as we gradually speed this guy up, the one thing that's really important is that we use the position of that ride and the tom to our advantage. And the way we're using that to our advantage is the ride sits above that tom, so let's use that height difference to kind of get both of them in one sweeping motion. So I'm going to be sweeping my right hand down the ride and then onto the tom. So instead of thinking of it as two individual hits, ride, tom, I'm kind of catching them in one motion where I'm accidentally catching the ride just on my way to the tom. Let's check out how that works on the kit, and you can see how easy it is to speed that up, just keeping that right hand as one motion. And that may look pretty bonkers, but actually that's very easy. Now, you guys try that yourself, just that one sweeping motion to get through the two. It's very easy to throw that phrase around with confidence. Now, one more adaptation we are going to need to this phrase for that fill is to create a group of 4 out of it. So instead of our group of 3, right, right, left, right, right, left, remembering we've got a kick on that first right, we're going to add one more bass drum onto the end to create a phrasing of 4. So we've got our right, right, left, kick, right, right, left, kick, right, right, left. Now remember, we have got that bass drum at the beginning, and now we have a bass drum at the end as well. So we have got 2 bass drums right next to each other. So you're going to need to be confident with right foot doubles to get this happening. And if slide technique or heel toe isn't something you've checked out, then check out our lesson on heel toe, which is in the description, because that's going to be essential to take this any further. So now we've got this sweeping motion, feeling comfortable as a group of 3 as well as a group of 4. But here's where things really get interesting, because we're going to go back to our group of 3, but we're going to play it as 16ths. So we're going to hear it as a group of 4. We're playing exactly the same thing. All we're changing here is how we're thinking about it. So just take your time, count yourself in 16ths, and then play your group of 3 through that bar of 16ths. Now notice I am finishing on 4 and here, just to make it a natural repeat there. So we've kind of got this 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. Just so we can start nice and clean on that beat. 1 again each bar. Now, the reason that playing this as a group of 3 through 16ths is such a big deal for this concept is that we now have a hand playing on beat 3, which means we can add a backbeat into our whole little pattern there. So if we think our sticking through those 16ths again, we're 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So right there in the left hand, let's take that to the snare drum, because nothing sounds better than a fill with that backbeat running through it. It just really makes the whole thing sound so much more musical. So that there with that backbeat was the springboard to this fill idea for me personally. Then all I've done to take it from where we are now to that final fill is just add some of those groups of 4 again. But instead of just adding it on the end, we're going to add it straight after that snare backbeat. So let's take this nice and slowly and then build it up. Now remember, I know there's lots of toms going on here, but if we simplify it to just the sticking, it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. So now that's the way I'm throwing that fill around my particular kit with this 2 up, 2 down setup. But you don't need those toms. You can play that exact concept just with a floor tom and a snare drum, obviously, and your ride cymbal. But the whole point of this is we can use that sweeping motion as a springboard for so many different ideas, using those 3 versions we've checked out, as a group of 3, as a group of 4, and as our group of 3 through 16ths. And we can use those as springboards for more ideas. We could play our group of 4 through triplets as a group of 3. There's so many different ways you can approach this, and it's actually quite an exciting little thing to throw around because it is one of those things that sounds quite snazzy but isn't too hard. So let's try out a few different things. Now, I really hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our website where you can check out our full feature-length lesson packs over at drum.dog. We hope to see you again soon.